Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today it is almost spring-like weather out here, so it is time to start some seeds. I'm going to get started first with some pepper seeds, and if I have enough time, I'll get started on a few flower seeds. So let's get started. All right, let's go over our setup this year. We've got some water. For our soil, we're going to be using our Espoma seed starting mix. We've used that for a few years and I like it. But in addition, I'm going to be adding the Vermont Company potting soil. I've used potting soil the past few years and I like the results. But I haven't used this company, so I've heard good things about it and I'm going to try it out myself. But I like the addition of the seed starting mix because it's nice and fluffy, and I like the nutrients that using potting soil gives to my seedlings, so I like to mix the two. I wanted to show you guys some new humidity domes that I have. My humidity domes that I had previously got warped in the greenhouse because of the fluctuation in temperatures. It gets pretty hot in there, and I did not take them out of the greenhouse to protect them. Unfortunately, they got really badly warped, and so I had to buy some new ones. I got these shallow ones from Amazon and they are pretty good quality. They're about the thickness of the ones that I had, maybe a little bit thicker. But I got these really thick ones from Bootstrap Farmer and they are really good quality. So hopefully they will last me more than the 5 years that the ones that I had previously lasted. So the ones that I had previously lasted about 5 years, and which was pretty good, but hopefully these will last even longer. And if I remember to take them out of the greenhouse, I'm sure they'll last even longer than that. Got a bucket, which is what I like to put my seed starting mix in. When I wet it, it's just easier to fill my seed starting cells with the soil that way. A spade, my seed starting trays, and everything here is nice and clean. I had put up a short showing you guys how I get everything nice and clean before I start seed starting, and hopefully you will watch that before you have seen this video. If not, I'll link it up above. And let's go ahead and get some soil put into these cells so we can get our seed started. Oh, and also we've got our plant labels. Can't forget good old plant labels. Always need that. Okay, let's go. I've got this first tray filled And I like to come through and lightly push down on the top of the soil. Just lightly. You don't want to pack it in too much. But the reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to come through with my seeds or seed, depending on the type of seed. Usually I put 2 to 3 seeds per cell. I'll just place the seed on top and then lightly cover it with a sprinkling of soil. That way I don't have to bury the seed down. I can just place it on top and then lightly cover it with the soil. That's the way I choose to do it. It's just easier for me. Here are the varieties that we're going to plant this year. Anaheim, of course. Jimmy Nardello. And these are our sweet varieties. So, Anaheim, Jimmy Nardello. King of the North. A white Zinfandel, which is sort of like a gypsy pepper. Sunbright, which is a type of bell pepper. California Wonder Gold. I saved some seeds from some gypsy peppers a few years ago. That is an experiment. I'm going to see if those grow. I'm not sure if they will. And if I don't have enough of the California Wonder Gold in there, I've got some other California Wonders that I'm going to grow as well. And then some Cubanelles. And then as far as hot peppers, I've got some giant Craig's Grande jalapenos that I ordered, but they're not here yet. And just some early jalapenos. Pepperoncini. Poblanos. And Sugar Rush Peach. So not a big variety, but I'm going to grow quite a bit of the sweet peppers, just a lot of them, because I did not have a very successful pepper year last year, and that will not be the case this year. We are not having that again this year. We're going to turn that around. A couple of peppers that I forgot to mention that I added were the serranos, pimento peppers, and I just added another orange bell pepper, but I think I mentioned that I might add some extra bell peppers, and I believe that is everything. So let me go ahead and get all of those pepper seeds plugged in their place. So like I said, what I do is just take my seeds, like these are some seeds that I saved from an orange bell pepper last year. I take that seed, just place it right on top. And because I'm just doing one cell of this orange bell pepper, I'm going to actually place 2 in this cell, just in case. I'm going to place one in this corner. So one right there, and the second one in the corner, just in case. And then I'll lightly come behind it with some soil to top it, and that's it. And then I'll sprinkle a light layer of water over the top. Not too much, just a light spray of water, but I'll show you that when I'm done. Anheims. Sunbright. California Wonder Gold. And so, alrighty, so all of the seeds have been covered up. I've got my spray bottle here, and I'm just going to gently mist them with a little water. Just gently. You don't want to overdo it with this, because the majority of the watering is going to come from the bottom. This is just a light misting of water. And you don't do this often. This is just in the very beginning, and if you happen to notice that it is overly dehydrated, but what you don't want to happen is you don't want the top of the soil to get mold on it. So I really don't do this often, and I don't have to because I use a humidity dome in the very beginning of the germination process. So I don't usually have to worry about that with my setup, but that is a consideration, especially if you live in a very dry place, or where you're starting your seeds is in a dry area. You may have to mist the top of your seeds if you're not covering them with some sort of humidity dome. You may have to mist them. So next, what you want to do is you want to take one or two of the cells out, depending on how large your watering can is, and just fill the bottom with water. I typically fill it up to about 1 inch, especially at first. I like to make sure to do this with water that has been sitting out, so that it doesn't have any chlorine in it. So if you're using city water, that is. If you're on well water, it's not an issue. But if you're using city water, just let it sit out for a little bit, a couple of hours, and then you can go ahead and pour it in. And the bottom of all of these cells have little holes in them, and that way your soil will absorb the water from the bottom up, and that is a better way to water your seed starts. And that is all you have to do to get your seed started. All right. After you get your water put in, go ahead and cover with a humidity dome. Like so. I like to keep them halfway open at the top, like that. I'm going to place them on my grow mats, the heated grow mats in the greenhouse, and they will sit there until they germinate. If you have not yet purchased any pepper seeds, now's the time. Go ahead and pick out some pepper seeds. Pick out your favorite, what your family likes to eat, and start your pepper seeds as soon as you can. Have a beautiful, beautiful day or night wherever you are. Bye-bye, everybody. For those of you who are new to my channel and you don't remember, or you haven't seen what my small greenhouse seed starting setup looks like, this is what it looks like. And it shares space with my citrus plants in the winter. We've got to make room for everybody, but this is what it looks like. Just a utility shelf with some shop lights and some heat mats. Very simple, but it gets the job done.